Yeah, that's a really odd passage of play there. Electronic, though, seems to be keeping his eye out for pushes in the lobby and outside. Boomich, in the meantime, does get his opening pick. Pesadillo does get caught out here behind the double stack. He's good for one, but immediately traded, which is great news for NAVI, who now have control of lower site. They have the 4-on-3. They have PRT low on HP, and now the
Phobic angles, and they're already watching at the top side as well. Skull spots Simple, takes him down, pivots back in. Player in decon is low and has now been fragged out. Smoking off the double doors. They've got a smoke that they can put down and potentially get that defuse kit in amongst all the action, though. Electronic, tons of utility, taking no prisoners on this A hit, but the flashbang does yield the first frag. PRT actually spins around, pivots in for a second one, and Skull's posted up and already vent dove down, leaving Electronic to try and make some chaos and mayhem occur up in lobby. But he gets sideswiped from Mobs. That's another rifle that trades hands, and this rifle is completely and utterly gone smashed across the rocks dust. Like, unless Simple can somehow clutch this, which he can't. TeamOne, you know, there is a lack of pressure, and if you do get battered in the first map, it's sort of whatever, it's par for the course. Electronic, though, straight through, gets one, instantly traded back, and Pesadillo gets the better of Boomit.
Mostly from Flamey's end. The rest of Navi still gathered up inside lobby position. Flamey trying to sneak through towards Mini. He's been caught, however, so now they're limited on the angles they can take as they do come into upper. Simple gets a great headshot there. And now, all of a sudden, Navi actually have a little bit of hope, Vince.
Yeah, most of the CTs have funneled their way off A site, so 2 players coming up lobby and 1 in heaven. 20 seconds could prove to be the final nail in the coffin, though, because one area will go unchecked. Simple, 1-on-3, 12 seconds to his name. And there is Maluk. Seems to have been his kryptonite.
Train coming up here soon.
That's a very good point. They've really turned the screws onto Na'Vi. Boomich already down. Finally, they get another purchase in. Instantly weakened. Electronic spray on point. 2 players fall to his wake. And the AK opens up outside control. Flaming. An important duel up against PRT, and he comes out ahead. I think he got dinked, but it was through the wall. So it took away all of that damage. Mobs may get the drop onto Electronic, who may not be anticipating a 3rd player to be here, and indeed, that will be the case. But it's still a 3-on-2 and advantage to the Na'Vi.
Yeah, it's a small victory to be won. Electronic had so much impact with those picks, had such a great timing up close at outer. Perfecto takes down Mob, so now only Skull is left standing. He gets control of hut position. He's trying to maybe make a maneuver in through lobby. He will bypass Flamey, perhaps, who was in Squeaky Hall, but timing could catch him in the back. No, he is able to get away, so he might get the jump on someone, as they might have thought that Flamey would have the kit. Just doesn't seem like he's going to have a chance here unless he can catch Simple and get in. Maybe then he does spot Simple, great dink onto him, but still so much he has to
pull the plug when he knew the round was done. A bit of damage across, and again, Navi's economy not in great shape. That one loss of life in the 1v3
aggressor here in these Squeaky Halls. This time a counter incendiary will slow him from trying to go for the vent dive, and that's a big pick from Luke. He's doing a great job, as well as what takes place the rest of the way here against TeamOne. Flamey finding an opening pick there on the Pesadillo, certainly helping Navi out on this round as the clock starts to get to that point where you need to start making some decisions on where you want to end this round at. Obviously, the 4-on-4 somewhat favors Navi as the defense might get spread a bit thin, but Mouse has a great position here. It's going to come down to timing. He does get caught, but he's not finished off, and indeed he will return fire for the frag, but Flamey did find Maluk in the process, and so Navi's still very much in this hunt.
Yeah, 3-on-3, but the B site once again is open and available for Na'Vi to plant on. And they're doing their due diligence, just locking down these angles, Molotoving off the double doors. Mobs get spotted by Flamey, who was already low.
Solid round there. They're starting to finally get some good things going for them towards outsiders.
Great call, I would say, for TeamOne. They can take this, they can really start to steamroll ahead. They're going to be getting straight onto the site. That's the weakened spray from Electronic, who is flashbang through. But Flamey makes the most of it. Takes down Maluk straight afterwards. Boomich gets a flash to the face, and he has to pull the plug. So a 1-for-1 trade, but again, outside control is falling the way of the T's. This time, though, a secret player has made a move in, but Pesadillo's head has been removed.
By storm. They keep getting these advantages. Now they have the 4-on-3. PRT does get aggressive in lobby, does get one, but not going to get out of there. Great response from Navi to understand the situation and get that one back. Will they expect another defense?
They do. Simple's watching it. He's seen the script. He's been there so many times. Mobs does get the death from above. 28 seconds to play with and instantly dips down into ramp. He's got a perfect read of the situation. This is a clutchable round now for Mobs, but he may have missed his chance. Open find start later time. Still somehow alive, but Flamey, who is really
there, and he wants to just try to stop them from getting back Hall's control.
goes in, and Pesadillo puts it down center mass.
Top uses to clear out a lot of these little corners and angles to get them a little bit of space. Boomich now, gets caught by Maluk from the manpower. Now they're just going to try to force a play towards upper.
These entries, they need them right now. Flamey could be the man for the job. It's Simple with the AWP that runs straight out. 15 seconds to play with. They still need to get across to the site. And their skulls. Double spray. And Simple is making a beeline for the site downstairs. It will be post-plant, but 30 HP to his name. 1 on 4 coming up against him. Vents, the first player, comes in. No scoped out of his boots. His skulls. But fortunately, Maluk was there to avenge his fallen teammate. 6-6.
Big round victory for TeamOne, and big they did it relatively clean. Only losing 2 players on the round, so they'll be able to save some weapons, start building up a little bit of money for the last bit of this half.
Even with that last round going the way of TeamOne, though, the bulk of these last 4 or 5 have certainly been NAVIs, but Maluk up close, gets 1 nearly seconds. Unfortunate not to land the shot onto Perfecto, but Skulls comes in, and Mobs with the fast flank puts down Simple in the back of the head. The timing going against Navi this occasion, and now Electronic alongside Flamey trying to make something happen outside of Squeaky. Flamey comes back in, big headshot delivered on. Pesadillo has the angle covered though, and Flamey never really had a chance. Electronic's had a bit of a quiet game so far, down on 5 frags and 49 ADR. This would be a big moment for him to shine, but he has been put.
Electronic might catch Pesadillo though here, and indeed he does spot him, but he can't connect the dots. Pesadillo with the big...
Their CT sides have looked rock solid. I suppose that's something to put in the back of your mind as they go for the vent dive. The timing was against PRT, but Mobs is already in there. They'd read this situation so many times. Na'Vi in the first 5 rounds were vent diving almost every single round. So it's a great rotation, great read from TeamOne.
Yeah, them getting these opening picks gives them a lot more flexibility on how they move across the map the rest of the way, but that's a great little bait jump out for Simple being an op shot there onto Maluk. The problem is that they're not getting any more progress than that. Mavs and Pesadillo
as they trail, but they can easily bounce back if this second pistol goes in their way. Flashes and mollies, but they're going to line up for Electronic. Only gets 1 in the meanwhile, though, on PRT. Puts him down pretty quickly afterwards. Simple gets aggressive with the CZ. Straight through on Squeaky. Takes down his adversary and then pulls the plug afterwards. Pesadillo around the back, though. Takes them both down with ease. From Vents, he realizes this, but he's been tagged down to 31 HP. There's still a minute to play with, but Flamey, he is not slowing down. Had an excellent, just a full-on purchase at this stage. They don't have really much in surplus. They're going to be trying to get out aggressively. Mobs, so aggressive, but all the kills after him go the way firmly of Na'Vi. And Pesadillo's already down to 36. He gets torn down a peg. Looking to try and get some more aggression, but walks out into the double stack. And it's Simple's AUG that will have the final word. Maluk may very well put down Flamey, but it has no idea as to how much trouble he's currently in, because the bomb is dropped on the A site and Na'Vi are circling it like vultures.
Yeah, it's one of those rounds that's like a bottle rocket that's a dud. You light it on fire, you see the initial sparks, and you start to get excited, and then it just doesn't go anywhere. As Navi.
TeamOne slowing it down somewhat, but there's now going to be a flurry of grenades firing their way on towards the hut. Molotovs, flashes, smokes, everything tossed in. But Na'Vi have got that blockade. Only lost casualties. They've only taken pain. Now they've got a smoke and flash left. They're going to try and do what they can to limp their way towards the site, but they're being cold where they stand. Yes, PRT gets a frag, and maybe even a second onto Electronic. If he's not careful, there's not really much he can do about this, to be fair. He needs someone to come and help him out. Now Flamey is the man to do the job.
He's jumping over bullets.
He's literally dodging bullets left and right while Flamey comes in to clean up the rest. And although he'll go down, look, Electronic
up a massive lead.
Oh yeah, they're on the fast track to securing map 2, and they nearly lined up for a collateral. Simple probably couldn't believe his eyes for a second as he pulled the trigger. He gets 1, does get counted instantly by Mobs. And they've already quickly maneuvered their way into garage, but Electronic is here. Mobs picks up a second. Do they expect Electronic to be behind blue? And this could be the ace up the sleeve for Na'Vi. But he's still pretty sure that Garage is going to be aggressed on. They have two players watching the same position, so now Electronic can turn his attention elsewhere. He's given his position away. PRT! That Ferrari peak headshot is sublime. And that'll force him into more of a passive angle. There's a slight gap in this smoke, though, and Electronic can make the most of it. PRT may realize it, but still comes out second best. And Electronic can turn tail and
trying to go for a ramp room control. Now, Flamey is still here, and he throws down a well-timed incendiary. They're actually running through it, and they're getting caught up by, and Simple's op also there to greet them. This is a big problem for TeamOne. They have to bounce away, and now try their hand at upper, but there's already a good defense in place.
That's a madness to me. They tried to push that incendiary. They lost so much from that. Electronic puts the bullets down range and secures the kill onto Maluk, but Perfecto is probably just a couple seconds away from getting a double. I say that, and Mobs just dry peaks, takes his head clean off. It's a great cost to his HP, though, but he's gone in for another one. Wasn't anticipating Boomich at the top of Hut, and the round will fall.
Shots are still certainly in contention on this map.
With one, tries to transition into that second spray, and his spray was sloppy at the end. Electronic, though, nearly gets to drop onto multiple players. Simple at the back of the site gets one, but just overwhelmed and swarmed by T's will finally meet his demise, and, well, they turn up the pace, they turn up the heat. It's more than enough to deal with NAVI, and I agree, that was a slop.
Underneath them, they were able to deal their own body blows and find an 11th round. Again, not letting NAVI's lead ever get too much, but unavailable to do so. So ramp control will be taken by TeamOne. They will be able to use this as a foundation to build the rest of their round. They've also taken the op of Simple down elsewhere on the map, probably towards outside of the PRT, and he's not done yet, perhaps, but no.
It was looking so good for TeamOne, and now it's looking pretty bleak as they come up heaven slowly. Electronic will show no chill, no prisoners taken, only bullets barrage down onto the oncoming T's. They'll try and wrap around lobby at the meanwhile. There's flashes coming in. It's a good flash at that. It does afford them a bit of safe passage, but Perfecto is already in prime position to strike this one down. Last man standing is mobbed, but not for much longer.
Make that play for ramp control again. They've pushed Flamey off position and towards lower side. This is very much a replay of what we saw in the previous round, but it's starting to unravel the same PRT, probably towards outside if I had to guess based on the patterns we've seen in previous rounds. Pesadillo, though, big catch onto Boomich. Unlocking this upper sight. Skulls on the Perfecto. That's going to reinforce it. And all of a sudden, TeamOne, they have a way to plant, and they've put NAVI in a spot where they do not feel comfortable probably trying to go for the retake here. They will have to concede this round, save these M4s, but now they're not even carrying that over. Electronic's been
coming to fruition. TeamOne, so clean on the pushes, but there's a bit of sloppiness again seeping in, like Boomich likely will be a dead man, and he has a good idea, Simple, as to where he's currently positioned. So PRT does go for that peak. He should go down. Electronic, in the meanwhile, though, puts his FAMAS to use.
A great entry through Squeaky Hall from Pesadillo. And again, TeamOne looking to test the waters at upper, but Boomich was there early this time inside the hut. But again, they're getting the favorable trades. Luckily, Electronic gets that kill on Mini, and that gives Navi some hope thanks to Flamey's efforts as well.
Pesadillo 1-on-3 to try and touch this one down and really hurt Navi. Put the beating onto them. Won't be happening. Simple hold his.
We are going to see Navi trying to slow down any type of fast pushes, and Electronic's like up close. Outer finds his man and more. 2 big kills from Electronic.
It's looking like TeamOne may have run out of a bit of steam. Finally, Navi's superior firepower is rising to the top. But
Side itself, they have all the kits they need, as well as, you know, nades for nade stacking, all that good stuff. Flamey, though, takes out PRT, so it may not even come to that.
Spot the shoulder around the corner, but Flamey will not miss the mark.
Navi seemingly doing their part, Vince, to stay in playoff contention. Again, those other series are still going on, though. There's other determining factors, and we see Flamey, though, lighting up 2 more, Vince. It's looking like the end.
Simple missing a shot that you'd expect him to land. Reputation preceding him, but the slow peak doesn't really fare well for the T's. They just swarm Simple, though. So finally,
there's still a lot of time left here, maybe even a way to vent up, but no, they will plant lower. Now it's going to come down to the Navi retake. With
player down to the right-hand side. There's only a certain amount of spots at this point that players could be residing in. Navi should be checking their angles, but Skull spins around for 2 out of nowhere, and now it comes down to Perfecto, who connects the headshot downtown onto Maluk and saves the round and takes Navi to a 2-0. We'll be headed to a break when you rejoin.